Coachella was this past weekend and it had several memorable moments, but it wasn't the only gay thing happening this week. Welcome to your weekly roundup of gay entertainment news, and this video is made possible by my channel members. Thank you very much for supporting my channel. If it wasn't for you, my channel might not have been able to exist, so thank you very much for your ongoing support. With that being said, let's head over towards Rainbow and follow the yellow brick road to see what's new and happening in the rainbow world of entertainment this week.
I'm here to bring you news to make your day. Entertainment news that's really gay.
This is the party capital of the world, and if they only knew it just steps away is this magical, natural wonderland.
Neon Reef turns an environmental story into something with real pulse. A documentary about Patrick and David, two South Beach residents, began paying closer attention to the underwater world of Miami during lockdown and ended up championing the South Florida Reef track. The film frames the reef as more than just a pretty backdrop. It is a living, fragile ecosystem that has survived dredging, warming seas, and the usual human habit of acting too late. What gives the story its lift is the couple at the center of it all. They are not presented as detached activists, but as people whose curiosity became commitment, and whose commitment grew into a community of efforts involving divers, scientists, and local allies. The film is set to debut at the Miami Film Festival on April the 19th, with additional screenings at Outshine and a virtual release to follow. In a week full of glossy entertainment headlines, this one stands out because it is genuinely hopeful without pretending that the stakes are small. It is about beauty, resilience, and the stubborn idea that something damaged can still be worth saving.
Tu as peur? Non. Alors approche.
London's Male Gaze, Heavenly Creatures offers a very different kind of spotlight. 4 gay short films from around the world, screened at the Asner on April the 18th and 19th as part of the NQV Media's ongoing male gay series. The program, which began in 2018, is built around the theme that keeps repeating in striking ways. What happens when religion, ritual, and sexuality collide? This year's lineup includes titles from France, Ivory Coast, Spain, and France once again. And the stories move from a king searching for lost love to a teenager playing Jesus in a village reenactment while searching for emotional and physical intensity. That is a bold mix, but it's also the point. The series is clearly interested in how desire survives in places that try to discipline it, and how young filmmakers keep finding new ways to frame that struggle without sanding off the sharp edges. For an audience that wants short film cinema with a little more nerve than novelty, this is the kind of programming that makes the month feel more interesting. If you somehow missed it, Chanel naming Pedro Pascal as house ambassador is the kind of announcement that immediately travels beyond the fashion pages, because Pascal brings a rare mix of red carpet magnetism, internet affection, and public credibility. The brand officially announced him on April the 13th, after a run of appearances that already made the relationship feel pre-written. A custom Chanel look at the Oscars, an early appearance at Matthew Blazy's debut, and regular attention from style watchers who have been tracking his fits as closely as his film roles. What makes his appointment resonate more is the fact that Pascal has long been viewed as a strong LGBTQ+ ally, especially because of his visible support for his trans sister, Lux Pascal, and his repeated defenses of trans rights. So this is not just a celebrity face deal, it reads as Chanel choosing someone whose image carries warmth, intelligence, and the kind of moral ease that fashion houses are always trying to borrow but rarely manage to earn. That is probably why the news landed so well. It feels less like a corporate campaign and more like a very polished welcome.
Hudson Williams just won't quit. He's been everywhere the last 6 months, and maybe the secret to his limitless energy is a really great workout routine.
Hudson Williams has quickly become one of those names that make fans stop scrolling, and his new Peloton spot plays directly into that momentum. Peloton posted a clip on April the 13th showing the heated rivalry star in white shorts lifting his vest to reveal a sweaty torso in a way that feels scientifically designed to trigger a group thirst, and the comments didn't disappoint. The internet treated the ad less like a product campaign and more like a public service announcement for cardio and obviously Hudson's body. That reaction makes sense because Williams' profile has risen fast since Heated Rivalry landed on Crave in November 2025, with his on-screen chemistry helping to turn the show into a breakout title. The clever part here is that the ad does more than just flash muscle. It keeps Williams in the exact lane that is making him so effective, sporty, suggestive, and just controlled enough to feel expensive rather than messy. In entertainment marketing, that is a very specific skill. In fan culture, it is basically thirst bait with a production budget.
But there's something so vexing about you.
Laufey's new Mad Woman video is one of those releases that look elegant on the surface and then keeps revealing more detail the longer you watch it. The song arrived on the deluxe edition of A Matter of Time, The Final Hour, and the video, directed by Warren Fu, leans into the retro world of 1960s and 1970s glamour, poolside drama, and carefully staged social friction. Hudson Williams appears as part of the video's glossy cast, and his cameo has already become one of the most talked about details in this video. The fun here is in the contrast. Laufey's music is refined and emotionally exacting, but the visual treatment is playful, almost cinematic in its sense of timing and irony. William fits this because he brings a kind of polished physical presence that lets the video wink at the audience without losing its style. The result is not just a music video with a handsome guest star, it is a miniature drama with fashion, tension, and a little absurdity baked in, which is exactly why people keep replaying it.
That morning, I woke up to a new message from my boyfriend Ben. By this point, Ben had been dead for 2 years.
At Norwich Theatre, Smoke is playing as more than just a stage piece. It is being presented alongside a You Are Loved panel, which makes the experience feel part performance, part community event, and part conversation about the things that people usually avoid trying to say out loud. Written and performed by Alexis Gregory and directed by Campbell X, the show begins with a brutal, simple premise. Alex wakes up to a new Instagram message from his boyfriend Ben, who died 2 years earlier. From there, the story unfolds into a sharp, uneasy comic thriller about grief, social media, drugs, loneliness, and the emotional wreckage that can sometimes hide behind the screen. Norwich Theatre's listings makes clear that the production does not soften the subject matter, and that is one reason it sounds compelling rather than grim. The play is clearly meant to be vivid, confrontational, and funny in a way that painful truths sometimes are. Adding a post-show panel changes the frame once again, because it invites the audience to move from watching a crisis to talking about what helps prevent one. That combination of theatre and local discussion gives the production a real purpose beyond the stage lights. Fernando de Vale's new music video, Gay Latin, is another reminder that some artists do not bother with subtle branding because the point is already clear, and that is what we love about Fernando. Gay Latin feels less like a one-off headline and more like a next chapter in a project that uses naming as part of the aesthetic, and thus the appeal is obvious. The music does not need to whisper about what it is. It arrives with its identity fully visible, and that confidence is part of the charm.
I feel so free.
Madonna has stirred excitement this week by teasing Confessions 2, a follow-up in spirit to her landmark 2005 album, Confessions on a Dance Floor. While details remain limited, the announcement, including a preview of what I suspect is the lead single released on YouTube on April the 15th, suggests a renewed focus on sleek, club-driven production. If the new project follows that blueprint, it could mark another sharp, self-aware evolution in a career built on precisely that instinct. I don't have a suggested video for you to watch, but I can promise you all of my videos are worth watching, so I'll let the algorithm pick a video for you to watch next. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. It seems like a small thing to you, but it really helps my channel to grow. And it also helps the algorithm to see that my video resonated with somebody like you, and that way it will hopefully push my videos to more people like yourself that might enjoy my content. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.